So we're getting another Gears of War game. Just what everybody wanted, right? Right? Long story short, Microsoft has announced that they have bought the rights to the Gears of War series from Epic Games. Epic Games no longer has anything to do with Gears of War, and they're going to be making a new game with Black Tusk Studios. This is a relatively new studio that hasn't made a game yet. They were working on a game, and weirdly, that's pushed aside, and now they're making a Gears of War game, and people have opinions about this. And you know what? So do I. Let's get right into this, though. I'm not going to sit here and bash the Gears of War franchise, because in the beginning, I really liked it. When you think about it, it really was the Halo of the Xbox 360. And by that I mean, like, it was the core flagship title that drove the system forward, like Halo did for the original Xbox. And when the first Gears of War came out, it was awesome, it was revolutionary, it was incredible, the cover was awesome, the game looked amazing, even though it was kind of just a big Unreal tech demo. It played really well, the multiplayer was incredibly addicting, it was all I did. And then Gears of War 2 came out and made everything even better. The multiplayer was stronger, except it kind of sucked with the server issues. The single player was amazing, and then Gears of War 3 came out, which I did not like the single player at all. I thought it was god-awful, but the multiplayer was like a fine wine, totally perfected. All the game modes, the balance was great. So the Gears of War trilogy completed after that, you know, it rode off into the sunset for a little while, only to get ripped out of the grave again and be made into a shitty prequel game, Gears of War Judgment. Gears of War Judgment was pretty awful. I really didn't even end up finishing it just because I got so bored with the single player. Now, there are people out there that are kind of, I call them Gears of War Judgment hipsters, who think that it is the best multiplayer version of the game so far, in terms of balancing, control, everything. And I don't know, I'm not really an expert with stuff like that, but it was fine. So now that's why I know most people are not really into a new Gears of War. They're like, great, more shit, more keeping it alive from a team that isn't really, you know, a passionate team. It's just someone else making it. It's not in the original reigns, and that sucks. And yeah, that does suck, but I think this new Gears of War could be awesome. Just think about it. What if they totally rebooted it? What if they totally made it fresh again? Even though everyone would be like, ugh, a reboot already? It could do the series some justice, especially if people got over it. Because really, the Locust War is over. We have a prequel. We've seen the beginning, middle, and end. Like, what are we gonna do now? Granted, I love Gears of War because there is actually a good universe, and I think there might be a little room to make other games. And while the endless cycle of sequels does kind of stifle creativity, I think with Gears of War, I think this is a chance for it to win people's hearts again. Especially with the fact that Black Tusk Studios, especially the fact that Black Tusk Studios, say that 3 times fast, is being headed up by Rod Ferguson, Microsoft has announced. Rod Ferguson has worked on the original Gears of War games 1, 2, and 3 with Epic Games, and then since went on to work on BioShock Infinite and help that get shipped. But this guy is kind of fucking awesome. This fucking guy right here. Everyone in the industry has very nice things to say about it, and from what I've seen on Twitter, he is just a really passionate guy, really in there, knee-deep with the Gears passion. Always. And I hope with Rod Ferguson being on board, I hope that can bring some new vigor to the series. I hope he can bring new life and new passion to a new team making a new game. So that's kind of why I think we'd be alright with a new Gears of War. Maybe it could come out good. So I say don't flip out just yet. But as always, guys, let's flip this over and let's talk about it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this new Gears of War game. And you might as well, let's play a game, because I like to do that. List off your favorite Gears of War games in order. Mine are Gears of War 2, Gears of War 1, Gears of War 3, and Judgment. And as always, guys, I'm Jake Baldino, and you can like me on Facebook, you can yell at me on Twitter, and you can subscribe because video games.